everybody in the world blind. Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
Yo. Welcome to day 8 of MLB Free, the 2022-23 MLB Free Agency. But before we get into it, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you smash that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Definitely shout out and also shout out the content too, where's it coming to you live from the Hardcore Sports Network as well. Make sure you hit the like button over there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are 1 subscriber away from 200. So obviously, so munching on some chips, but yeah, I mean it's gonna be fun so far this week. In terms of where, let's see who's gonna go where. So I mean, so far, kind of get a recap. We saw Kyle Lewis getting traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks for Cooper Hummel. We saw that Anthony Rizzo resigned a 2-year deal with the Yankees. So really nothing too major. Well, outside anything besides Rizzo, which is pretty much the only, I guess, the quote unquote major move, I would say. But yeah. So I mean, so far, the free agency has been very interesting to see whether it's just free agent signings or we start getting trades going on. Like I said, with Kyle Lewis getting traded to the Diamondbacks for Cooper Hummel. And a lot of times, I mean, it's just, for a guy that won the rookie year in 2020, which a lot of times some people like myself don't want to count the 2020 season, which is the 60-game season. But I don't know. But so far, though, but yeah, and other news, outside of that, so basically, Judge was almost a unanimous American League MVP. Let's be real. Just with that season that Aaron Judge has had, let's be real. Like anything more, if he somehow got snubbed from that, it's then the baseball writers should give up their day jobs. But so nobody cares about that. So obviously yesterday, June Lee tweeted that this kind of topic of the free agency that the Texas Rangers will host the All-Star game in 2024, while the Phillies will hold it in 2026. I think Seattle this upcoming season. And what's crazy too is like, say what you want about Justin Verlander. Verlander's just one of those, and like we see athletes that just have a tendency to get better as they age. I mean, Verlander's a perfect example, especially in the baseball world. At 39, wins his third Cy Young in unanimous fashion. Let's be real. For a guy who got Tommy John surgery, was out 2 years, and still do what he does best and just shove it done. I mean, that's just the way that I would say. I mean, it's just like, I don't know, but let's get to some comments here. What is good? What is good? I'm trying to see if I can get more people up in here. So obviously, let's see, and it doesn't. But in other trades too that I just mentioned too, with Kyle Lewis getting traded, how about Teoscar Hernandez getting traded from the Toronto Blue Jays to the Seattle Mariners in exchange for Eric Swanson and Adam Macko? Now Macko is more or as a native of Canada, but it's been crazy to say the least. And Jeff Passan put this out 2 days ago, saying Toronto wanted to beef up its bullpen. Well, let's be real. The back end of the bullpen was not the best by any stretch of the Toronto Blue Jays, and I just feel like that's kind of where they, where they're weak at. I mean, Blue Jays fans, don't get pissed at me. It's just like, it's just the way we see it, and I can say from experience too, as a Phillies fan, yeah, we have dealt with the bullpen issues, but even the back end too. Like, damn, like that's just the way that I see it, and it's like. But yeah. But let's see. Okay, so the only play, and for this, and for this are just coming through, the only best people to look out for any MLB news is Jeff Passan, Ken Rosenthal, John Heyman, John Morosi. Those are the guys I would recommend to at least follow on Twitter. But let's see what's. So this was an hour ago. So John Morosi retweeted this from Brian Hawk saying, from last night, Brian Cashman said, the Yankees have made an updated offer on Aaron Judge, who turned down a $213.5 million extension before opening day. Cashman says, quote, it's in real time, so so on the clock, we're certainly going to not mess around. Yeah, you would be stupid enough to see Aaron Judge walk away from what from the New York Yankees, which, like I said, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to find a way to give him what he wants. Let's be real. He's pretty much, when it comes to the free agency, like, of Aaron Judge's caliber, like, you got to get that man the bag. Let's keep it a buck here for a guy that's just started into his 30s, give or take. But I mean, and there's going to be some issues where would you really take a risk for a guy who has not shown at the playoffs? Now, granted, the supporting cast around him has not been the best, other than Harrison Bader been pretty much the only one that's been carrying that damn team. But Judge himself pretty much is the one who carried that team into the postseason, because everybody else, Gleyber Torres at times has a tendency to struggle. Like, just the entire Yankees team just looks, it's just mid, in my honest opinion. I thought Matt Carpenter, if he didn't get hurt, I think he could have been a good, decent option for them. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's just been, I don't know. It's just like, it's crazy to really to see of how much, how dumb it would be for the Yankees to, let Judge walk, outside of, get rid of the New York. But I mean, there was some other slight news, but not big, like superstar type of news, which won't happen around to the morning meetings. That Mike Puma tweeted out, Mike Puma, who is a Mets beat reporter Mike Puma tweeted out about this was 2 hours ago. Mets are acquiring Elieser Hernandez in relief for Jeb Brigham for the Marlins in exchange for a minor league pitcher Franklin Sanchez. Yeah, I don't know exactly who that is, but Elieser Hernandez, I've seen plenty of times. Okay, here. Let's see. No. So, yep. Okay. So, Jeff Passan's the first one to tweet about the Kyle Lewis trade. Yo, what up, Steve? What up, my guy? What is good? So, let's see what Ken Rosenthal has to say. Oh, they actually shows, and it looks like someone put out the link of the voting for the MVP ballots. Now, like I said, Goldschmidt is one of the guys. Shit. You already got traded Oscar Hernandez for, like I said, but with I don't know if I forgot who I said now, but so let's see, Let's see. Oh man, Miami, so pretty much Goldschmidt was almost unanimous, except for in areas, the NBC Space Bay Area took Machado. Todd's liking when Machado. Howard would have gone. Goldschmidt, because I think Goldschmidt for me, when it comes to, I think just had, like I said, I think we said this too. Goldschmidt just had a better offensive season, and I like Arenado. I think Arenado is a really good defensive. All these moves that I've seen so far was them like resigning Jose Arena, but that's pretty much about it. All I know is that the Rockies have just been very quiet this free agency, but that's just from what I've been seeing. But yeah, it's not looking great for the Rockies, but most teams are quiet in this point of the free agency period. Even though this is day 8, though, at some point, we saw Elieser Hernandez get moved, but that's just pretty much about it. Let me just do this. Let me just check this on Twitter. Even though I usually use my other computer, but for some reason it's old as dirt. So just bear with me on that. Let's just see. Nope. See what. Let's see that. We know that I do have a gut feeling that that Cody Bellinger definitely should get moved. And also been hearing there's some rumors. I've seen some Blue Jays content creators kind of talk about this. That they might be. There's a couple of players that the Blue Jays are looking at. Is from what I've understood was that Brandon Nimble's one of them, and so is Cody Bellinger. For me, I don't think you guys could use another. Well, actually, I'm wrong. Because I feel like the Blue Jays could use another left-handed bat, so I can see why they looked into. But most importantly, the Blue Jays need pitching. For the love of Christ, they're back in. Like I said, the back end of the bullpen has been absolutely horrendous, in my honest opinion. But let's see. So know about that. Yeah. So the Blue Jays showing interested. Yeah. So Nick Martinez went back to the Padres. Rizzo's getting paid $17 million a year for the 2 years. So the only two players that accept the qualifying offer was Martin Perez from the Texas Rangers and Jock Peterson. Even though I don't know. So this was from Jeff Passan 2 days ago. So the people that rejected their qualifying offers goes as follows: Aaron Judge, Trey Turner, Sander Bogaerts, Jacob deGrom. Dan's response to that's an interesting one. I don't know. That's an interesting one to see. Carlos Rodon, I would have expected. Brandon Nimmo, Wilson Contreras, Chris Bassett, Rizzo, which he has resigned, and Nathan Eovaldi. But the only ones accepted was, like I said, Peterson and Martin Perez. Tyler Edison pretty much signed with the Angels on a 3-year deal. I know a lot of Dodgers fans are not happy about that. And it's funny to see them all, some of them pissed off, but I mean, you have to realize too, I don't know exactly what the cap situation or the how much money the Dodgers even have. But I don't know. Yeah, what is up? What is up? Gotta have about agency, right? Also, shout out to the Sun Chips. Can't go wrong with a Harvester cheddar flavored Sun Chips. Okay. So, no, that was from the 9th. Yada, yada, yada. All right, nothing as much as in terms of updates. So, let's just gotta see how this play turns out. I mean, let's be real. Like I said, MLB Free Agency. Oh yeah, Harvester cheddar and garden salsa flavored Sun Chips. Can't go wrong with that. Plus, go along with the Mountain Dew. Yes, I know y'all can't see the damn bottle because of my damn green screen, but like I said, man, it's been very interesting to say the least. One second. I actually got to grab my notebook because I actually got to give you guys some updates. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I had to get my damn notebook, which pretty much had to keep my notes in. So when I did talk about the award winners and stuff like that, I mean, all right, there we go. So hopefully nothing else goes quickly, but shout out to the 6 that's in the building. If you guys are new, welcome everybody as well. So what I did talk about, not just the free agency, but the also awards took place the last couple of days or so. So we did find out who the manager of the year for both the American League and the National League, but the National League goes to Buck Showalter. One part of me says it was well deserved. Not to mention, the other part of me tells me, for a guy that led a team, I don't know. These regular people just make some weird things about these awards, but Terry Francona, I could definitely agree 100% for the American League, because for a team that we thought the Cleveland Guardians was a rebuilding team, but the fact that the matter is, I mean, you have a guy like Terry Francona. But yeah, so let's see. Honestly, this was and another thing is too that I actually talked about with Jeff, and Jeff, and my Jeffy T85, also another great Mets content creator, another good buddy of mine here at the Hardcore Sports Network. Please hit that like button over there. We're one subscriber away, but so far we've actually talked about where Jacob DeGrom is going to go, knowing that Jacob DeGrom did opt out, and we saw that the Texas Rangers are pretty much, I think, the best front runner in terms of trying to acquire something like DeGrom, and we saw the Braves kind of put their chips into the table. Now, my thing is too, and I agree with Jeff made a point, like, how much you're going to want to offer for DeGrom that's going to be entering its age 35 season, has a long injury history. Like, it's kind of a bit of you don't have too much of a high risk, high reward type of contract. And if you think about it too, when DeGrom is healthy, he's just plain much disgusting. At that point, let's just see. But man, there's something like a lot of teams has been interested going into Carlos Rodon. I know we because we lost. Well, we did pick up Noah's option, but we might be looking at replacements elsewhere, knowing that we may or may not bring Eflin back because most of the guys that we had are on 1-year contracts. So, I mean, a guy like Syndergaard, I would not mind bringing back another 1-year deal, but just for as a bullpen piece, and obviously try to bring in a guy like Trey Turner or Xander Bogaerts. Now, like I try to put that debate to the bed, like for some of these fans, like there's just want to be super greedy of who they want. But I took and I put this in comparison to that. Bogaerts have better offensive and defensive numbers than Trey Turner. Now, granted, Trey Turner has a better stolen base trait than Xander Bogaerts because Bogaerts has never been noticed being a base stealer, but yeah, I mean, like I said, man, it's been one crazy. Let's say crazy 7 days of MLB Free Agency, which I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be more happening at some point. But I don't know. God, if I could actually not choke it down some air, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I mean, we're definitely losing some players on a 1-year contracts, that's for sure. But it's really not going to be too much of a huge loss, I would say. But let's see. Let me actually take a look at Spot Track right now, and kind of give you guys an understanding of. All right. So obviously, we had these certain guys that did elect free agency was Noah Syndergaard, Gene Segura, Corey Knebel, Kyle Gibson, Brad Hand, Zach Eflin, David Robertson, Johan Camargo, Mark Capel, Chris Davinsky, Michael Kelly, and Cam Bedrosian are the ones that we've they have elected to go into free agency. That's just how. Well, that's just who we are losing. But that's, like I said, that's not much of a huge loss for us because I do think we can get better, improve over them. Now, Syndergaard is going to be an interesting case, though. I mean, even though as a starter, he was okay, but just couldn't really go through 4 innings of work. But I do feel like I would not mind bringing him back on a 1-year deal to be at least a bit of a bullpen piece. Because I mean, I just feel like he's more comfortable that way at this point of his career. Like I said, and I even said this many times too. Like Syndergaard's not the same pitcher as he once was 4 to 5, 6 years ago. Prior to getting some time, I mean, even though he has, and I even said this too in the last last year's free agency, that is that Syndergaard was like the last guy I would ever want to trade for. I mean, even though there was probably better names on the market. But no, this was the trade deadline. I mean, excuse me. But I mean, look, either way, I do think, like I said, I do think we can definitely run it back with some of these guys, but some of these guys have to step up. Definitely, like I said, Haas has 1 year to prove it to keep his job, because let's be real. Most Phillies fans, even myself included, myself and Tyler, I don't know. Like, we just don't see it the way that it does. I mean, that's just how it is. But yeah, no, man. But it's just crazy though. But like I said, the free agency though, like I said, it's just kind of, like I said, I mean, let's see. Let me see when the winter meetings are. Give me 1 second here, guys. Oh, God damn it. Hit the wrong damn button. But shout out to the 7 that's in the chat, though. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. So, the winter meetings, they take her. Okay. So that, yada, yada, yada. Free agency begins. So they get the Rule 5 draft, but that's the Rule 5 deadline to say. I don't know, but it's just I don't know, but we'll see. Like I said, we'll see what happens. Let's see. The done tender deadline, pre-arbitration, yada yada yada. So the 2023 baseball writers, the BB. Oh God, let's just see. I don't know, man. And then Sunday, from the 4th to the 7th, you got the winter meetings. So we'll see what it. Like, I'll see what happens, though, man. It's going to be very interesting to take a look of how much this is going to. I don't know. Man. Let's see. All right, let me take a look here on Twitter. Let's see what Ken Rosenthal has to say. But like I said, I mean, okay, so this is Kate. This is earlier, about 20 minutes ago that I didn't even see if I had to pick up. Dennis Lin, I think, who covers the San Diego Padres, the writer for their portion of for the Padres in the Athletic, he tweeted out 20 minutes ago, and Ken Rosenthal retweeted this. The Padres met with Kodai Senga in San Diego yesterday. Sources said San Diego is one of many teams with interest in Senga, who could fill a remaining hole in the rotation. The righty is close with Yu Darvish and played with Nick Martinez and Robert Suarez in Japan. So it's very interesting. You know, Kodai Senga and Masataka Yoshida is another. Those two Japanese players are definitely trying to make their way over to the United States. Because I feel like Yoshida now actually has drawn a lot of interest from the Phillies, who actually I've seen that or read about that. That Yoshida has idolized Bryce Harper, which, granted, which I would like to see in a Phillies uniform to really help out in the outfield and have Shore back at DH and have Nick Castellanos on the bench, because Castellanos at this point isn't as a glorified bench player at this point. All right, so that. Yeah. Japan has always produced really good prospects. I mean, you know, a guy like Otani, Masahiro Tanaka, Yu Darvish. I mean, over the years, man, you know, Hiroki Kuroda, Hideo Nomo, Ichiro for sure. I'm trying to think. There's another guy off the top of my head I'm really drawing a blank on. God damn it. I'm really starting to blank out because there was another guy. I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, Ichiro is just a one of a kind type of player. Oh, that's who I'm thinking of. Daisuke Matsuzaka. Good Lord, I couldn't think of his fucking name. It just came, and just for some reason, because that's who I was thinking of. Daisuke Matsuzaka, or known as Daisuke for short as his nickname. A lot of people don't remember how good he truly was. No, what that's transition tracker. So that's. Yeah, but Buck Farmer, they saw that he signs a 1-year contract to avoid arbitration. Not really too much. So Scott Alexander signs another 1-year deal too. So there's some big contracts been signed to avoid arbitration, and rightfully so for some players. Brett Rooker was claimed by the Oakland Athletics from the Royals. Oh, that's right. And Steve, your Rockies. This was yesterday too that I didn't really want to make a short on. Was that did Nelson Lamet avoid arbitration by re-signing a 1-year contract with the Colorado Rockies? But there's been some minor signings and some trades here and there, but that's just how it is. But yeah. But but yeah. So Nate Fisher is going to the White Sox on a minor league deal. This was 2 days ago. Like I said, I didn't mention Teoscar Hernandez going to the Mariners for Eric Swanson and Adam Macko. But I mean, there was a trade with the Rockies. The Rockies did pick up Nolan Jones from the Guardians in exchange for Juan Brito. But that's just pretty much about, like I said, that's pretty much about it. No, never catch with the Marlins. Just been, there's just been nothing but qualifying, declining, 19.6. I don't know. Even though that's still is a lot of money to some people, but I don't know, man. Well, we'll see, man. But we'll see. But another, let's just see how this looks. That's but yeah. But yeah, but shout out to the five. That's at some point. I mean, you have to. This is the way that I see it. I mean, at some point, would you even want the Rockies to even have a new owner at this point? Because the Rockies are not doing anything to really help. You already overpaid for Chris Bryant, who has not been the same since the days in Chicago. Couldn't stay healthy for most of the goddamn year. Like you said, you traded away Tulo. One of the worst ideas I've ever seen. Trade away Arenado. You trade away. I mean, you let Trevor Story walk. For the love of God, like the Rockies just cannot do the right thing. And this is why a lot of times the Rockies are just pretty much a laughing stock in the National League. Well, outside of the Marlins, but the Marlins have a better future than the Colorado Rockies. But it's just like it's very hilarious to say the least. See, that's. Let's see. No one cared. Because, I mean, I don't know. Like, I remember the days where the Colorado Rockies were actually good. You know, I mean, the days when Todd Helton was actually one of the best players that they had. A lot of people don't remember when Hawk was actually somewhat underrated. I mean, you still had God, who else did the Rockies have? I don't know. Like, let's see. Let me see. So from 93 to 02 or to this year. So you've been your franchise has been in Major League Baseball for 29 seasons, but you made five playoff appearances. In the past 10 seasons, has one playoff series win, to make the playoffs twice, has a winning percentage of 46.1%. 29 seasons. The first season was 93. The recent season was 2022. So last time was in 20. Wow, really? I forgot the Rockies were in 2018. I'm trying to think who. Oh, right. It was the annual. Okay, so just before the wild card had changes. I forgot about Larry Walker. Galarraga, man. God damn. See, I was never around when Dante Bichette played, but I know. Yeah, I've seen Guerrero. I mean, I've seen Vladimir Guerrero on the back end of his career. Todd Helton, let's be real, probably one of the most under. I mean, the fact and shit, the best moments from Todd Helton. The fact he faked out. I think this was when Matt Carpenter was, a rookie, if I'm not mistaken, gets beat by a hidden ball trick. Like, I've never seen a guy like Todd Helton ever pulled that off. But man, you guys had some really underrated players over the years. So the I mean, the close. I mean, what could have been? I mean, you guys. Let's see. Who was part of that 2000? Man, the closest he's been to the World Series was 07. That is crazy. Let's see. You went 90. Oh, that's right. You still had Clint Hurdle. Clint Hurdle was still there in 2007. You still had Daniel Dell as your GM. Really, not a bad. Over 2 million attendance. Yeah, no one cares that. So let's see. Yeah, Yovic Torel. God, I forgot about him. Todd Helton, Kazuo Matsui, Garrett Ack, Matt Holliday. God, Brad Hawp was an interesting case for him. It was decent back then. God, the only one that does not have a decent batting average was their catcher. Whoever had a catcher leading off, though, like for the love of Christ, you know, you still got Chris Iannetta. I think he's still around since then. Jimmy Carroll, Ryan Spill. Oh my good Lord, there's God, none of these guys that I don't even remember, except for outside Chris Iannetta, but that's pretty much about it. Steve Finley, I don't even know who the fuck he is. Aaron Cook, let's see. Prime Ubaldo Jimenez was just disgusting. No, it's just, I mean, the 23 you still had Franklin Morales, but he just had the way that I can describe Morales. I mean, there's some moments where he just did not have it. Oh, I forgot LaTroy Hawkins was there. Let's see, Franklin Morales, Jeremy Adfield. Jeez, I forgot how he pitched for the Rockies. Let's see, Francis. So your rotation goes as Francis, Cook, Fogg, Hurt. So you went with a 6-man rotation, apparently. Which, okay, that's interesting. But I'm trying to think, though, man. It's just like, but I mean, so you lost to the Boston Reds. Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot about the Boston. Yeah, and that's what, their second World Series, I think, for the Red Sox. New England fans, yeah, you gotta let me know in the chat. Let's just see. Any updates? Let's see here. Let's see here. No. Only one. Okay. It's just crazy, man. Like, you had all that talent, but I mean, I know that. Let's see who the Boston Red Sox had back in 2007. No, not the right. 2007. The Boston Red Sox in 2007. That's right. They also had Terry Francona. They went 96 and 66. Swept. Man, I never. Hey, who gets swept in the World Series? Who gets swept in the World Series? Yeah, that's. I forgot about the 23-game winning streak. How the hell does that happen? You could go up over the best winning streaks in 2007, and I remember that. Like, if I'm not mistaken, too, this was for. I don't think you even faced us in 2000. No, wait a minute. How do you? The fact you get swept in the World Series? Good Lord. Let's see. Yeah, well, that'll do it. You still had Jason Varitek, Kevin Youkilis, Dustin Pedroia, Julio Lugo. I do not remember. That's for sure. Mike Lowe, I remember from his later days with the Marlins. Manny Ramirez, I think everybody know who he is. Coco Crisp, later in his pack of his career. JD Drew, David Ortiz. So pretty much out of the start 9 in that lineup, the only one I don't know is Julio Lugo. That is nuts beyond belief. I mean, Eric Kinski. Oh, I remember Eric Kinski during his time with Tampa Bay, which that comes. I think if he'd be a free agent after that season, signs. I think with Tampa Bay, I think they win the wild card, and if I'm not mistaken, we beat them in 5 games in the World Series. Uh, but Eric Kinski, Alacora, Jacoby Ellsbury, probably the worst contracts that the Yankees have given him. Oh wow, Kevin Cash. Actually, I forgot about that. I forgot about Kevin Cash even playing with the Boston Red Sox back in 2007. Well, I mean, the pitching was actually pretty solid. And we still had Josh Beckett, Daisuke Matsusaka, Tim Wakefield, and Wakefield is showing you at the back end of his career. You had a prime John Lester at the age of 23. You still had Eric Gagne in bits and pieces in his prime. Clay Buchholz, a young Clay Buchholz, J.C. Romero. God, why do I feel like that was? Wait a minute. Yeah, good old J.C. Romero, man. Kind of miss the guy. I mean, the fact that he's worn number 16 for us from 2000. So I think we traded for him. I think we did trade for him. Let's see. No, I think he left him free agency. Actually, in the 4 years that what's he 1, 2, 3, and like the 4 seasons that he's played with us, has some real. I mean, obviously, had a 275, rally 275 and a 270 in 08 and 09. Good Lord. I completely forgot about how good he was. Yeah. Yeah. That's got to suck though, man. It's been crazy to say the least. Let's see. Let me just refresh. Nope. Let's see. So I've been seeing that Cody Bellinger, only 26 years old. I don't know exactly what the fuck just happened for Cody Bellinger. Just after being rookie of the year in 2017, wins an MVP in 2018, 2019, and just completely falls off, and has not recovered since then. And he's going to be on the verge of being a non-tender. So we'll see where that's going to go. Because knowing, and I can sometimes I see Dodgers agree with Dodgers fans. I mean, you had this time to fix your shit, but for some reason, Cody Bellinger just couldn't. But yeah, right. We'll see. Let's just see what everybody else has. Let's see, Ken Rosenthal. Any updates from him? His Twitter can hurry up and load it. But I mean, oh well, we did get some other news. So Tyler Matzik signs a 2-year contract extension or a new contract with the Atlanta Braves, worth $3.1 million. So this is coming from the Braves Twitter page. Yeah, and I also showed that Matzik signed a 2-year deal worth $3.1 million. That includes a $5.5 million club option for 2025 with no buyout. Matzik agreed to donate 1% of his salary, to the Braves Foundation. Originally drafted by Colorado, 11th overall into the 2009 first-year player draft. Good Lord. But, yeah, so the Braves re-signed Tyler Matzik, who's been very solid out of their bullpen as one of the other lefties. I mean, outside of AJ Minter. But that's just how I don't know. But like I said, it's going to be one of those slow days. It's where it's going to be see. So let's see. Let's see. No. Even though this was 3 hours ago, like the Cardinals, I can see the Cardinals making a push for Wilson Contreras. I mean, yes, I know there's going to be some other teams pushing for Contreras. The only two teams I could see making a serious push for him is probably the Houston Astros or the Cardinals. Because the Cardinals, knowing that Yachty is now officially retired, they're going to need going to be a catcher. Now, with the Astros, on the other hand, they might bring back Martin Maldonado on a 1-year deal. But my thing is, too, you can get both a catcher like Contreras who's good defensively and offensively. You get 2 in 1 instead of have a guy that's one-sided in his game. Granted, I don't know. Like, it's just like Martin Maldonado, even though had a really good career, just wasn't really good offensively. But yes, but shout out to the 6 that's coming into the chat, though. Appreciate everybody coming through, especially from the hardcore sports. Everyone, make sure you hit that like over there, hit that subscribe button as well. But like I said, another slow day for MLB news. Other than we've seen some teams try to push for certain players. We saw that Contreras has been kind of linked to many teams like Houston, definitely. What do you call it? With St. Louis, and obviously for good reason. Both teams don't really have catchers. Well, mostly St. Louis, because I don't know who they're going to be there if they even don't want. Who knows? But but let's say, like I said, we'll see what happens. But shout out to the 6 that's in the building. 4 from the Philly Sports Podcast YouTube channel. Appreciate that. Let's see what John Morosi has to say. Or what's he going to tweet out? So, no. Let's see. Probably much nothing. Like I said, not going to be for long because I know there's not going to be much news. But it's a thought. Get up in here, kind of just talk some baseball for a little bit. Until only some other news that we got. We saw broke down some recap some trades. The MLB award winners so far, who the Cy. Also, I forgot talking about the Cy Young though. They mostly American League. Because Justin Verlander, I think we all knew he was going to get it anyways. I think he probably had one of the better seasons of anybody else. Sandy Alcantara, though, honestly, well deserving as he really as he should, because I think he's probably one to have the better seasons. That, let's be real, for a guy that was a former Cardinals prospect, and this is what I find funny about the Cardinals prospects. A guy like him goes to Miami. Has a couple good. I think he has what? Actually, let me see. Let me check his baseball reference. Can't give you an. Let's just see what Sandy Alcantara. So far this season, at an 8 WAR, a 14-9 record, a 2.28 ERA, and all 32 games started, pitched 28 and 2/3 innings pitched, has an ERA whip under 1, and struck out 207 hitters. So in this, other than that, other than that, this was his best season to date since, obviously 2020, like I said, didn't count because he went 3-2. No, 2-time All-Star. Only one time in his career he has led in losses with 14. I was back in 2019, went 6-14 with a 3.88 ERA. Strikeout. So last year or this season and the season prior, he had 2 back-to-back 200 strikeout seasons. So overall career-wise, strikeout career-wise, he has 638 career strikeouts. So at some point, if he continues to have multiple good seasons, who's to say he might get past, you know, I don't know. Okay, I think at some point he's going to get at least close to I mean, he may be. I think if he can do what he's doing in this upcoming season, who's to say? I think he can surpass the 1,000 strikeout threshold, that milestone, since he has 630 career strikeouts. So who's to say? As good as he is, even though there are times we've seen teams like my Phillies, for example, kind of just expose. There's some pitchers that can be mortal sometimes. But I know I'm not trying to poke fun of it. I mean, just every time I think Alcantara tries to pitch us against us, we find a way to beat him. But shit. But that's just pretty much that's going to be about it. I don't think I've seen any more news, but let's just see. All right. I even talked about this too, is that the Dodgers, I've actually talked about, I think, one of my afternoon show that I've actually talked about, or in between one of my Between the Lights episode there. The Dodgers are huge front runners for Carlos Correa. Now apparently now you hear about the Cubs now are making a push for Carlos Correa. Now I guess you could see the Cubs doing that. I mean, you can still get some decent years out of Carlos Correa if they decide to go that route. But like I said, I don't know exactly too sure of what the Cubs really need. All I think I can see is they can try to improve pitching, because I mean there's some pieces I do think they could use. Because I mean they're not going to be contending. And I say not for like a long time, but I think they're just there. They're just like borderline. They're borderline close to being a playoff contender, but mostly towards a wild card. But that's just how I see it. But other than that, though, like I said, I mean, when I'm looking at everything else, though, I mean, we know that Carlos Rodon's been kind of tied to many different teams. We saw some minor trades go down. Cody Bellinger might get moved, or I think most likely he's going to be non-tendered. So basically could make him a free agent. So we saw that Kyle Lewis got traded. Brandon Nibble's drawing interest from the Toronto Blue Jays. But that's just. But yeah. Other than that, though, like I said, I'm not going to be here for a little bit longer. Not really too much to really talk about, other than just been another slow day in the MLB world, and of course, but yeah. But other than that, though, that's going to do it for this another edition of MLB Free Agency Day 8. Like I said, it's been a slow day. Not really much to really talk about. This has been like a recap of what has gone down so far this free agency. But with that being said, this was Robert from the Philly Sports Talk Podcast. I'll see you guys in the next one.